What's up, Yins? Car Dad Bill back with you again. This week on a rainy Pittsburgh day, we got us a 2021 Nissan Rogue SL all-wheel drive. Let's go for a ride. What's up, guys? Car Dad Bill here again this week with the 2021 Nissan Rogue. Let's take a walk around the outside and see what we like. Here we are outside of the Nissan Rogue, and I want to start up front like I normally do, but I want to start at the front, the very front, because this front end is definitely different, and it's definitely the new way of some of these new SUVs. They're getting rid of the headlights that are up top that are all in one housing, and they're separating it. Headlight, daytime running light, turn signal, fog light down below. So they're definitely changing up how the front end appearance of all these SUVs looks. Nissan's not the only one. Large front grille, fairly upright with the LED headlights, reverse reflector headlights like I was telling you guys about in the previous videos. Same with that, fog light is a reverse reflector. Then you have your daytime running light up top. Following along the side, split 5 wheels, aluminum, the two-tone paint. So we have the gray paint and then the two-tone black along the top and on the sides. I believe those rims are 18s. They're 19s actually. Look at this trim at the bottom, follows the bottom of the car, the SUV line. Here's your around view camera right here, your LED turn signal in the mirror, privacy glass in the back. And then I like how the shape goes across like that. It has the paint coming up in the back that kind of flows with the window design. And again, it kind of shrinks in the back. Gives it kind of a fastback look as well, just like that Ford was. No bumper, you know, very muted bumper. These taillights look just like the Nissan Murano taillights, the same shape. Kind of the reverse, that slash that goes back across there. The wipers mounted on the back window. Nissan has the camera up underneath, up under there, and then this is the section for the tailgate. But that's the exterior. Overall, I think it's a very stylish, updated, good-looking SUV. Guys, we're on the inside of the Rogue, and I want to go over a couple things in here that I found to be really sharp. Let me close this blind here so we get rid of some of that reflection up top. So starting up front here, let's look at this dash and look at the design and the materials that are used in this dashboard. We have a combination of plastics, soft plastics, leather, stitched leather, and then we have some of this wood grain that's dark and it looks really nice. So you have the aluminum following that all the way around, the stitching all the way around. Then it goes into a plastic up top here where the airbag is. It goes across the dashboard, kind of doubles up on the overhang for your instrument cluster, down to the vents with the aluminum around that vent as well. Down to the sides here, this isn't a wood grain, this is more of just a brushed plastic, I guess you could call it, because it has lines in it and it's plastic. Up to the buttons, same thing with the door handle and the opener. And it's just very classy, very luxurious. Same brushed plastic material here around the drive mode button, your parking brake, and then look at this shifter. So if I shift hands to this shifter slides back and forth. That's how this works between reverse and drive. And then when you get it, you push the park button and now it's in park. Up front here is your storage area, your start and stop button. Here's one that shows you 2 different USB plugs. So you have the small mini USB and then you have the regular USB size. Then you have your 12 volt adapter as well. HVAC controls right where they should be, below the vents. You can shift through everything, your heated steering wheel, your rear selections, then your front selections, dual climate controls. Then up front to the screen. So now we're at the screen, and now you can toggle through your different menus and your audio. You can go to this XM and get through all of this stuff, and it works pretty quickly. It's pretty fast. But let's go back to the map. Your CarPlay also goes through the screen as well. But there's your map. Nice looking screen. You slide over to the instrument cluster. This instrument cluster is just like all those other ones that we've looked at in the past. It has several, let me find a good angle for you. It has several different ways to go through this. It's all controlled by these controllers here and this rotary controller here, where you can toggle through different things. And it's a nice readout. I like keeping it the home screen. The home screen tells you what's going on at the bottom there. It tells you what radio station you're on, what gear you're in, how many miles to empty, how many miles on the odometer, and then it gives you your speed in the middle, and then your direction, and then your, that can read signs as it goes down the road to tell you which speed limit is on each road, time and temperature. So this home screen literally has everything you need to see while you're driving. And I do like, some of the Rogues have digital speedometer, digital RPM gauges. This one does not. This one is analog, you know, rotary style on both sides. Steering wheel, lots of stuff on the steering wheel. You have your volume controls, you have your track controls, some of your information display button right here. Same with this, that controls everything that's up there. On this side is your cruise control with your phone, your voice monitor, your distance control on the cruise control, and then this is your around sensing from Nissan that provides, basically, it pops up into the left corner there, and then it shows you it's doing forward collision, side monitoring, lane monitoring, and then blind spot monitoring, which is in your mirrors. It's that triangle, which if I can point to it, it's like right there on both sides. So you can see what's going on, what's coming up beside you. It gives you an alert on that. I don't use it that often because I don't like the car interfering with my driving as much as it does. Over here, some of these, I wanted to point this out real quick. Some of these headlight turn signals, there's so many different options. There's the switch for your fog lights, then it's auto, on, running light, or off completely. Then you have your automatic high beams right here you can set. And then your wipers on that side. Let's take a look at the back seat. All right, here's the back seat. Again, nice materials, different types of materials all the way down. I forgot to mention earlier, it's a Bose sound system that's in this SUV. And then look, we have actual screens as well as the privacy glass tinted windows. A lot of room back here. I don't have the child seat in here because I've been moving back and forth between cars. Down here is where the kids can charge their stuff as well as change their climate control. And then their latch system is right here. These ones don't move in. They pull out. Kids can plug into them, but they don't really go that far down. So they like those ones. Let's walk around back and take a look at the tailgate. For the tailgate, we can push the button up underneath here. That'll open up the tailgate for us. And it's spring, folks. We're getting in the golf season here, taking the kids to the driving range. Over on the side here is a compartment for the tire jack, if you'd ever need that. This folds down the seats up here. Another adapter for power. Same thing over here. Now I'm gonna take some of this stuff out and show you just what we got underneath that. All right, so there's several different things we can do with this, and there's a quick little diagram right there that kind of shows you how you can layer these. I guess they're just like dividers. So you can flip this up and it'll stay in place there. And it's a good place. You can see the rings. I have propane tanks here to fill up propane tanks, so it can hold that there. You also have cargo strapping areas right here. can use bungee cords, you can use whatever you want to kind of keep everything in place. But that's cool, like grocery bags. You can fit in here and then they won't rattle all over the place. You can lock it that way. The back as well does the same thing. So you have another compartment back here that fits in each corner, and then you can bring it up. So you have a deeper spot underneath there. And then this slides back on top and clicks into place. So now you have a flat bed again. And then underneath that, all the way at the bottom down here, is where the spare tire is and your subwoofer for your Bose sound system. So that's still underneath there, full spare, in case that would ever need to be taken out. Guys, so before we go on a ride, I want to go over a couple things on the vehicle Monroney, just to kind of give you an overview of what this thing costs, what kind of motor's in it, how much horsepower, all that stuff. And maybe we'll switch up the reviews and do that more often instead of finishing with this. So this has a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine with 181 horsepower, 181 pound-feet of torque. Not too bad for an SUV this size. It has the Xtronic CVT. So what that is, continuously variable transmission. What that means is there's no shift points. The car does not shift through gears per se. It kind of just revs up and down the rev range, keeps things smooth, not a whole lot of jerkiness, not a lot of bumps in it. There are paddle shifters for whatever reason on this, so you can kind of prompt it into which gear you want it to be in, but it doesn't necessarily have a 6, 7, 8 speed transmission. It is a continuously variable transmission through the range. This sticker price, MSRP, is $33,400. The options include the two-tone paint, the external ground lighting, which is really sweet. There's lights underneath the doors, the door frame attached to the vehicle, so that there's light on the ground at nighttime, which is really nice. The illuminated door kick plates that say Rogue on them. Interior accent lighting, frameless rear view mirror, which is this one up here, which is just a flat rear view mirror. It looks really nice. And the SL Premium package, which gives you the larger screen. The Pro Pilot Assist is what Nissan calls it, which is what I showed you earlier, that kind of watches everything around you, make sure you're safe everywhere around you. The Bose sound system, traffic light sign recognition, and front and rear sonar. So that brings the bottom line price to $37,575. So it jumps the price up about $5,000, give or take, from the original base price. That's for the SL all-wheel drive Nissan Rogue. But let's go take a ride. So shifted into drive, used that goofy looking shifter down there to shift into drive, which I actually kind of like it. It's muted. It's not like the ordinary ones. So I'm all for change when it comes to these cars, maybe a little more efficiency in that regard. What I look for when I drive a vehicle like this, a Nissan Rogue, it's a family vehicle. It's a higher sitting vehicle, being an SUV, and it has more vision than most vehicles would as well. You want to be able to see out of every window, around every corner, out the back, clear as day. There's a flat back tailgate so that you're not looking through an angled window. It's pretty straightforward. So those are the basic, I guess, qualifications. When I'm reviewing an SUV like this, I want to have ease of steering, ease of use, everything. It's navigation, stereo, Hvac controls. Where can I charge my phone? Does it have wireless charging? Where's the parking brake at? I'm one of those guys that uses the parking brake whenever I park, so just FYI. And then up here, the sunroof. It's the whole way back, the second row. It doesn't go back into the trunk area, obviously. And then this part actually flips up and goes back as well, so you can open it up. But just looking at, just driving this vehicle through the little neighborhood here, the start and stop is really effortless. It doesn't clunk through gears. It doesn't clunk into stop. It actually just cruises nicely, has a nice roll to it. You don't need to give it gas all the time. And the brakes are electronically assisted as well, but they are really, really smooth and they work really well, even if you need to panic stop or anything like that. Another nice feature of vehicles like this is the windshield wipers. A lot of these new windshield wipers have settings, and you can change, the intermittent portion of the windshield wipers, and then you can change the sensitivity of that intermittent portion. So you have two settings on windshield wipers now. You have intermittent you know, depending on how hard it's raining, and then the rain sensing portion of that, which allows you to turn it up a little bit more or turn it down a little bit more. And it kind of just, you know, whittles that down to a perfect level. I like leaving it on automatic. Right now it's raining, typical Pittsburgh weather, and it's raining. It's like 50 degrees, and it keeps up with the rain. It doesn't stop and start, and it does actually follow the rain pattern. So if the rain's heavier, then it's going faster. If the rain's less, it slows back down, which I think is a cool feature. So driving this on suburban roads and highway driving is effortless. It should be in a vehicle like this. These type of vehicles are supposed to be easy to use, easy for the kids to get in and out of, space in the back for groceries, luggage, whatever you're going to be carrying, sports equipment like I do. You want to have a vehicle that you can depend on, and it's definitely user-friendly in all those situations. You don't want something that is hard to use and you can't figure out the controls. Nothing's user-friendly. This is definitely a user-friendly vehicle from start to stop. The other thing I noticed about the Rogue that I really found to be attractive is the vision out of this vehicle. I can see everywhere I need to see. I can even look when I'm pulling out into traffic. I can even look out the back window and be able to see what's coming from the sides, as well as the mirrors. They're larger and they're easy to see out of, even with the blind spot monitoring, because a car does disappear into your blind spot when you're on the highway. So you definitely need that, and it's definitely useful technology that's on most vehicles nowadays. But I really find that to be, you know, the essence of this vehicle is ease of use, economy, price, and style. They've added style to this type of vehicle. I mean, it used to just be the midsize SUV was kind of boring and it was just getting the job done. But now we have all this new technology, Apple CarPlay and the Android Auto. We have radar cruise control, we have lane keep assist, we have front collision monitoring, we have the blind spot monitoring, we have heated steering wheels. We have a ton of new options now, and the Bose sound system sounds great in this vehicle. My kids really give it a thumbs up. They said it was a really nice vehicle when they drove in it. They were able to plug themselves in pretty quickly back there with the seat belts. Anna found it to be comfortable. She likes cars now. She's starting to tell me her opinion on things here and there. They all love the sunroofs that come in all these different vehicles. They love it being able to open them up and have the light coming in, especially on nice days. But I have to say that I feel like this vehicle is just well done. It doesn't do anything better than other vehicles. It doesn't do anything worse than other vehicles. It's just really well done. I'm getting used to the different packages that these cars come in and these vehicles come in, different trim lines, different options, things like that. But for an all-wheel drive midsize SUV, as you can tell, it's quiet. I'm gonna get on the highway up here in a second so you guys can hear me on the highway. And it's just a quiet vehicle with a lot of nice, you know, user-friendly options that make things easy. A turkey just ran out in front of me while I'm taking this video, and none of the forward collision went off because he ran across quickly enough. But you never know what's going to happen on a live video. Getting on the highway, and you can kind of hear the CVT working, but there's no shifts. It just goes up the RPMs and then it kind of drops down the RPMs and it goes back up again. Now here we are at highway speed. Pretty quiet, not a whole lot of drama. It's a good highway car. It doesn't get blown around the road as much as some other SUVs and smaller SUVs like this do in some cars nowadays. It's a little bit windy today as well, but it's not blowing it around. It's not having a hard time. And the cruise control is fabulous. I mean, the radar cruise control, you set it, and then you just steer, and you keep up with the traffic, and you pay attention to the point where if the radar cruise control is nice because you don't have to manipulate the pedal when you're on the highway, but you do have to pay attention. So say you're pulling up on a car and you don't want to, the car is going to stay behind, your car is going to stay behind that car. So if that car starts to slow down, so do you. So if you want to maintain your speed that you have set, you have to pay attention and move lanes. And you don't have to disengage the cruise control to do that. You can just move lanes over and go from there. So really nice SUV. I love the way the fit and finish is on the inside, and I love the LED headlights and the ability to just use everything. It's not hard to use. I got into it and I knew exactly where everything was at and how to find everything, and everything worked just as advertised. Some quick final thoughts on this. Nissan really preaches the efficiency and the safety of their vehicles. Their around sensing technology is definitely state of the art, and it's definitely well deserved and well used. It doesn't malfunction a whole lot. It's able to sense things on the road that you wouldn't normally sense. Is able to keep you in between the lines. But here's the thing, I don't necessarily find all of those safety gimmicks to be necessary all the time. I feel like you need to be paying attention to the road most of the time anyway, and those things are great assistance, but they are not to replace you paying attention to the road and the cars around you. This car that you're driving can respond and react to the changing environment around you, but you as the human can see things coming ahead of time, and you can almost, you know a car might run the red light if it's going too fast, or you might see somebody doing something that you can anticipate that happening, whereas the car can't anticipate. So while all this safety technology is a step forward, maybe towards autonomous driving later in the future, or maybe towards just semi-autonomous, highway driving, anything like that, I understand, and there's a place for it, and I think it's well-deserved technology, and it works well-received technology, I guess I should say, but it's not to replace you as the driver and paying attention to what's going on around you. So my final thoughts on this are, it's a great SUV. It has a lot of good tech in it. It has a lot of comfort in it. These seats are fantastic. The rear seats were fantastic. My kids thought they were really good. It has a good amount of storage in the back. We had all the baseball equipment back there not too long ago, and you saw the golf clubs fit back there. The kids ones do. Adult clubs fit back there as well. I just didn't have one in there. But it's a great, under $40,000. It's actually right in the mid-30s. You can get this thing at $30,000. So for $30,000, you can get an all-wheel drive Nissan SUV. I think that's a pretty good buy, and I would suggest taking a look at that. But this is Car Dad Bill signing off. Real cars for real people for real life. I appreciate you guys watching it. Please subscribe to the video. Hit the little bell icon. That little bell icon lets you know when another video comes up, and I'll be sending videos. I have probably 3 more I got to do here in the next couple of weeks from cars that have come kind of overlapping. So I got a Lexus coming up, I got a Acura coming up, and a Jetta coming up. So, or the Jetta you probably was already posted, but we got lots of cars coming up. So please subscribe, please tell your friends, please like the videos. I appreciate it. Talk to you soon.